This is my story on playing Double Dragon Advance on the hardest difficulty. Here we go. Marion gets captured. Alright, first enemy. Time to get down and dirty. Okay, this first enemy is taking longer to get rid of than I thought. Still got it in me. After beating those two, I ran into 3 more enemies and got hit for the first time. Nice. Less than a minute in and I'm already getting hit. After losing more than half my life to those 3, I wiped out the next guy and now face Linda, and gave her the best combo I remember doing. After getting rid of those 3, the wall crumbles, and out came the Kool-Aid guy. Ooh, a baseball bat. Batter up, kid. And keep it. I got a bubble to the floor, time to do the stomp. Oh, I got grabbed. And again, woke up and beaten before I could do anything. Lost my first life. After getting grabbed again, I beated Obobo and ran into 4 enemies. After getting slapped around, I took out one of them, and out came my guy, the real Obobo, and immediately lost a life that I gained earlier. After taking out all of his minions, I was left one-on-one with my guy. I mustered up all of my skill and ferociously attacked him and won. Now, Obobo tells me to go find a masked guy in a factory. Most importantly though, why isn't he talking in first person?
Obobo happy, Obobo lucky, Obobo thankful.
On to mission 2. I wiped out the first 2 enemies swiftly, jumped up a few platforms, and made my way into 5 enemies to get kicked, punched, and killed by a dynamite. After that, I went up and found 3 enemies, and one of them overestimated their ability to play with a treadmill. 2 guys in a suit arrived, have a taste of my spin kick, and he gave me one as well. I proceed to fall on the treadmill of death, and with a nearly full health bar. After knocking the enemies onto the treadmill, the elevator arrives for me to face Burnov. The trick is not to go left, or the enemies will start attacking, and I got grabbed and got punched to the left. After taking him out, he came back with more minions, and made me use my first credit, but was able to take him out a second time. At the start of mission 3, I lost a life to the first 5 enemies jumping me. After beating them, 3 more came out, and one of them dropped the Kali sticks. Alright, let me pick it up, time to go get some payback. Stop hitting me. Haha! Finally got my hands on the Kali sticks. Now have a taste of my Kali sticks. Alright, time to get serious now. After wiping them out, I gained 1 life, all to lose it in a single punch from Linda, but got rid of them, and now I run into another large mob and took out 2 of them, and the 2 tigers showed up. I focused on taking out the minions first, and now only the 2 of them remains, and proceeded to beat them with ease. On to mission 4, the train of death. I started with knocking all the enemies off the train to the left, then got knocked down as well by a dynamite. After getting double teamed by the enemy and getting knocked off the train multiple times, I was able to take out the enemy. Like Burnout's fight, it's easier to face them one by one, so that I don't get attacked from behind, like so. Now, Kikucho is alone and just a punching bag. Mission 5, the forest stage. Facing 2 enemies, one holding an axe. I gotta have it. Hands off. That was lethal. I proceed to have an air punching competition with the enemy. After winning, I went on to the next group of enemies and lost 2 lives. After that, I found an enemy that dropped Kali sticks, and proceeded to whack all enemies to their doom. And then kicked 2 Obobos into the water. Then go into a fight with 5 enemies, but took them all out. Then getting beat up by Linda and Co. And after getting beaten up by her other skins, I came across a cliff area and knocked one of the enemies down, and the enemy got revenge. The next wave came out, and I started to send them down one by one. But Burnoff had other ideas, so I had to do the old-fashioned way. After jumping down the cliff, I got into a fight with 4 enemies that kept sending me down the bridge, and eventually I sent myself down. After clearing all the enemies, I climbed up the cliff and approached the path that led to a door and started a gauntlet, Battle of the Cliff. and eventually me Bobo arrives and becomes the fastest boss to take down. On to Mission 6, the cave. I quickly knocked down all of the enemies into the water, and ended up walking into the water while trying to avoid the enemy. Thus, every enemy ends up in the water from my embarrassment. After one Smurf Abobo followed my footsteps, I kept sending the enemies into the water. Then I approached a door where an army of Abobos came to greet me. I first took out the Hulk Bobo, then the real Bobo, then the first Bobo, then the army of Smurf Bobos, lastly the gold and silver Bobos. Then out came the Abobo of all Abobos, the Cement Abobo. Remember when I said me Bobo was the fastest boss to beat? I lied. Cement Abobo became the fastest boss to beat. At the start of Mission 7, I got kicked right away, and eventually beat them up. Finding the existence of the spikes seems like the stages get easier and easier. I proceed to get kicked in the face. Got up and got kicked again. Then got shoved into a corner, beaten until I lost my life. It's vengeance time, as I led them into an area with spikes, and sent them and the next wave of enemies down. I went on into a corridor with no spikes, so I had to bring out my fighting ability. I thought I was going to lose. Another credit here. But then, I heard the spike sound, so I abused it. Then I went on to a wide room where the bosses were, and started the battle to the death, and I died first. It looks like each of them has their own unique ability, one summoning a shadow after getting knocked down, and the other able to teleport after getting grabbed. After losing 2 lives to them, I was able to advance onto the next 2, where one splits into 5, and the other turns into a shadow and strikes you if you stand on the floor. After losing 2 more lives to these guys, I was able to face Raymond, the master who happens to have all of the abilities of the previous guys that I faced. Nice! The Mysterious Warrior OST is playing as well. After losing 4 lives to him, fighting the best I could, I was able to best him. Mission 8. The final mission begins. Time to go rescue Marion. No gimmicks to help me here, so I did it the old-fashioned way. After taking them out, I charged forward and got hit by a stone wall, and then went into an area with statues stabbing me if I got close. So I started to hit the enemies into the danger zone and took care of them. I tried to get across, but I also met the same fate. I kept going forward and found myself fighting with the wall-crushing Abobos again. Without water, cliffs, or spikes, I had to take them head on, only losing 2 lives. I went to the final area. The enemy started to surround and beat me. I then came across Marion, who was tied up in midair. Don't worry, Marion, I'll save you. In my next life, or 2, maybe 3, or 4? Maybe I am the one who needs saving. After the beatdown, I cleared wave after wave of enemies. After seemingly endless waves of enemies coming to beat me, I saw Willie started to move and decided to show up with 2 Abobos. Willie proceeds to immediately shoot his 2 Abobos right away. After fighting the odds, there was only Willie himself, one-on-one. I had been waiting the whole game for this moment to show off to an unconscious Marion my moves. I ended up getting shot and killed. Alright, Willie, it's time to finish this. I picked up a knife and took him out with it. Finally, I got what I came for, the Super Mario Bros. Experience. Credits roll. Where could they have gone? No one knew for certain, but I know where. They went to River City, where Marion became buff. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.